So I'm at this beautiful place called the Yoga Forest with the Kula collective, which is yoga teacher training, and it's pretty simple living, but it's beautiful. It's sustainable the way they run this place. It's ecological. The food is amazing, and everything is the way I love here. I'd love to have a place like this. But I suppose in the end of this training, I will be a yoga teacher trainer, of course. But I suppose I'll also be challenged, I guess, to work on some of my challenges in life or problems, relationship problems, things that I will want to change and have the guts to do that, and also to have to be wise enough to handle the situations that I'm in a good way, in seeing others and understanding this situation from other people's perspective too, and then maybe knowing how to handle them better. Anyways, I suspect and hope that this day will be transformative, and I would like to share my experiences as we go through this journey, as I am going through this journey. Anyways, see you later. So we are almost at the end of the first week with the yoga teacher training with the Kula collective here in Guatemala, and I want to share some of the takeaways. So we've learned different breathing techniques, breathing more fully to calm down, which is really what I need. Also, we learned about the different chakras, and we have been diving deep into the lower chakra this week, and that's about how our subconscious mind and our body and our needs are driving our behaviors, so that we can kind of acknowledge them and be there with them. For example, now that I'm at the teacher training, I realize that my hips aren't as flexible as the other participants, for example. So instead of hating on the other participants for being more flexible than me, I should just acknowledge that my hips aren't that flexible at this moment, and that's the way it is. And we've been also exploring our lives outside of the training, and looked at what is frustrating for us. For example, if we're not happy in our jobs, or if we're not dealing very well with aging, or in our relationships. And so we have had this creative process to have these challenges surface and sort of written them down to try to process them. And of course the food here is amazing. It's vegetarian food and fresh food, and it's not difficult for me to have this sort of to eat. I normally eat this sort of food, so it's what I love, and I really love the food here. What's been really interesting also is that they integrate shaman elements from shamanism into the yoga training, and that's a lot about ceremony, about opening and closing the space, and being with spirits and calling on the spirits to help you be in your higher self, to deal with the difficulties in your life. And we have also, it's about living in your higher self as much as you can. So it's about having a practice that will remind you of that. So we've been singing devotional songs to Brahman, Vishnu, and what was the third deity again? Shiva, the gods of creation, preservation, and destruction. Because everything is going in an everlasting circle, creating, preserving, and destroying, and creating again. So today we looked at the sutras and the fundamental truths that, everything is ever changing, so we cannot hold on to things. And we have to let them go, even though they are good experiences. And we also have this creative process to understand that we should not fear, that we should actually go do the things that we cannot do at the moment, because that's all about learning so that we can evolve in our lives and not stay in the comfort zone. So I think that's the basic takeaways from the first week, even though there's one day left in the lower world, as they call it. So thank you and namaste for today. So we're at the end of the first week and at the beginning of the second week of the Kula collective yoga teacher training, and I just want to share my experience from the ceremony that we participated in on the last day. That was the Mayan cacao ceremony, and it was really profound because we gave our thanks and offerings to the fire. That is a transformative power. And I realized that the sort of things we were chanting about and the sort of things that we were talking about was about bringing our shadows into the light and being the light and being the example for others. And not being afraid of seeing that dark shadow within us, because that dark shadow is what will transform us into who we are. And it is through hiding that darkness that we all have inside that we are governed by our subconscious in a bad way. And that can have many expressions, like for example addiction or anger and other things that is painful to us and others. So I'm really grateful to be able to participate in this indigenous old cacao ceremony. And it's a little bit confusing for me because we're in this beautiful country where people are so hospitable, they're so nice, and they're sharing with me about how the country is not very well governed. You have the government not paying the firemen salaries, you have, a few very rich people sort of being, the government being puppets of a few people in the country. And this is a struggle like in the Lord of the Rings, with throwing the ring of power into Mordor. the things that we all struggle with in our everyday lives. It's, you know, it's not giving away our power, but it's to not be in our ego, to be you know, mindful of nature, mindful of other people. And what is also bothering me a little bit is that Lake Atitlan is very polluted. It's beautiful. I mean, there's a beautiful view to the lake and to the mountains, but it's clearly also a responsibility of the government. And I do think that, you know, being the example is the way to go. So I think that this conscious retreat center and sustainable retreat center is, you know, helpful. And I really want to support the people here to be able to improve the governance of the country. So my heart goes out to the Guatemalan people, and the beauty of this country is overwhelming. They grow, you know, the flowers that are here. It's so green and lush, and they're growing my favorite foods like papaya, mango, and avocados. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that was what we ended the first week in the lower world with, and we're starting the first week today. We started the first week today sharing and talking to our mothers and fathers about what we wish they would have done when we were little and what we wish they wouldn't have done. And that was really emotional, and I guess super healthy for us to get that out of the system, to clear that up so that we can be present in life without carrying that baggage with us. Thank you.